in Orlando, game one of the Eastern Conference Finals as we get set to start the third quarter. Celtics lead it 41-32 on Verizon Wireless Game Track. Some ugly numbers. Orlando missed 18 of their first 22 shots from the field, went almost 10 minutes without a field goal, didn't hit a three, yet they're only down by 9. Hello again, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Doris Burke in a moment. That was an interesting first half.
You know, sometimes when you're coming off an emotional series like the Celtics, you can understand it. But what I didn't understand was the Magic. I thought they would play a lot better.
All right, Mark, the winning 7 combination. It's got to be defense because there wasn't a lot of great offense.
Well, no question about it. Paying attention to detail on the defensive end, understanding how you defend Dwight Howard and taking him out. Just a great job here, keeping a body on him. It's a pick and roll. He has fights over. On-point pass. Now the pass has got to be made. Howard has him sealed because of the poor pass. Forces him away from the basket. Tough shot. Guy like Howard, he's open right now. Get him the basketball. You don't deliver it on point. Perkins able to keep a body on him and force him away. The best in the business can't make that shot. That's tough. And then when he does have an opportunity, roll, foul him, force him to go to the line. Allen, then Rasheed Wallace, force him to go to the line. And then Glenn Davis, instead of allowing him to dunk the basketball, again, go to the free throw line. You're going to beat us on our terms. Last series, only missed 5 field goal attempts in the entire series. Already 1 for 5 today. Great D by the Celtics.
Our Windows 7 winning combination, all about Celtic defense, which has been excellent. Starting in that Cleveland series. Pierce strives, kicks it back out. Garnett left open. And Nelson a rebound. Jameer Nelson just 2 of 8 from the field. Only 2 players for the Magic shot the ball well. Carter and Gortat. And Nelson though hits that, and that's their first 3-pointer of the game. 0 for 9 in the first half.
That's why I agree with you, Coach. It's so important for the Magic to push the basketball off of make or miss shots. Push the ball and get better offense that way.
Ray Allen pushes to the basket and gets it easy too.
And Matt Barnes is not moving well at all. In the first 9-minute stretch he was in, and right there he's having a hard time moving and keeping up with Ray Allen.
Back spasms for Barnes. Again, it happened in the Atlanta series. He doesn't know exactly when, but he's been getting treatment the last couple of days. Nelson, 2 for 2 to start the third. He's been their leading scorer at over 20 a game in the playoffs. And just like that, it's only 6. Allen off the screen. Can't get it to go. Carter gets around Pierce, spins, falling away. Tough shot, rebound. Pierce able to come up with it. Bad pass, stolen by Lweis. Inside Howard. Howard gathers. Nice strip from Pierce.
Don't let the kids watch it. Put your kids to bed early.
Ball inside, knocked out of bounds. Another sloppy play, another turnover as we send it to Doris Burke.
Mike, the Magic staff truly disappointed that they had so few possessions in that first half where there were multiple pick and rolls. He said too often we are trying to score over the Celtics' size, which is the strength of their defense. You couple that with too many turnovers and you can see why they had an inept offensive half. They're looking to change that here.
And another turnover there, although Magic will hold on. 13 turnovers for Orlando and 12 for Boston.
Well, I'm Stan Van Gundy right now. I'm thrilled to death just being down 6 points.
He looks thrilled. No, but you're absolutely right. And this is a mental toughness game. If for whatever reason you're playing bad, either you can wallow in playing bad, or as Nelson's done, you can start playing better.
Jameer Nelson knocking down shots here to begin the third quarter. And all of a sudden it's just a 3-point game. Nelson with 8 points already in the period. We've played just over 2 minutes. He's had huge games in the playoffs, had a couple of 32-point outings against Charlotte. He's back, he's healthy, and right now he's leading the Magic on the comeback trail.
Conference Finals on ABC. Brought to you by the new Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness.
Just over 2 minutes gone by, third quarter of game one. The Orlando have come out strong. The Orlando Magic have cut a 15-point lead to 3 as we listen to Stan Van Gundy.
All 5 guys have got to block out and rebound, and you can't hope we've got it, think we've got it, and run out. We've got to have it.
Jameer Nelson has it to start the third.
He's made 3 straight good plays. They forced the switch. Garnett gave him a little room, knocked it in. Good use of the crossover to gain more space versus Rondo, and then a great screen by Dwight Howard frees him up. That off the dribble 3 is a very difficult shot that very few can make. Jameer Nelson can make it, and so too can Ray Allen for the Celtics.
Nelson in his 6th year in the league, a kid from Philadelphia, had a great college career at St. Joe's and has slowly worked himself into an all-star guard last year in the NBA. Now healthy again. Garnett shot. That's good. Kevin Garnett now with 6 points.
That's better defense by the Magic. That's a tough shot by Garnett. Carter fights over the screen. The contest by Howard.
Rondo, one of the better defenders at the point guard spot, chasing Nelson. 2 water bugs going at each other. Let him get through the defense. Carter pulls back, off balance, nails it as the shot clock expires. Vince Carter with 12. Garnett doubled. Pierce for 3, puts it in. His second 3-pointer, and he's in double figures. Pierce on Carter. And Barnes turns it over. 14 turnovers for Orlando.
Good patience by Garnett. Bad double team by the Magic. Paul Pierce stepping in rhythm off the delivery too. That's a knockdown shot. You'd rather have him pass it to Rondo as opposed to Pierce.
Pierce had his best year during the regular season from 3. That one's a 2. And a lead back up to 8. Early third quarter here in game 1. Carter. Oh, nice pass. I don't know how he saw Barnes cutting to the basket for all those players.
Exactly what we talked about. Such an underrated passer. Vince Carter's a big-time passer and playmaking, pick-and-roll isolation.
Garnett once again finds an open teammate. Perkins this time able to finish.
And in transition, that's the second time Pierce got the 3 by them lobbing it against the front to Garnett. Dwight Howard's got to get all the way back and protect that versus just jogging up the floor.
Carter finds Howard again, and Howard's fouled. Once again, Carter doing a good job down the other end as Perkins picks up his 3rd foul. So Howard's already been to the line 6 times. He's 4 of 6 so far. Perkins is going to stay in with the 3 fouls. Amazing is being here. Season tickets for 2010-2011 on sale now. Go to nba.com/tickets to reserve your seats. The NBA, where amazing happens. This season down to the final 4 teams. Celtics and Magic starting this afternoon. Phoenix Suns and the Lakers starting in LA tomorrow night in the Western Conference Finals. Magic trying to get back to the finals. It was last year. They lost in 5 games to the Lakers. The year before it was the Celtics. So the last 2 Eastern Conference champions battling here this afternoon. Lost out of bounds. Orlando ball as Howard misses 2.
You know, both teams have had problems securing the ball with 2 hands. Tapping it with 1 instead of snatching it with 2.
Nelson fires away. Barnes comes racing in for the offensive board. Magic so much better on the boards. Lweis has his pass deflected and stolen. And Nelson gets in front of Pierce, who tried to throw it up in the basket as soon as he got hit. Let's see what the call is from Michael Smith. I think he's going to check with his official. It was a smart play from Pierce. I think they're going to call a 2-shot foul. No, he says no.
Foul number 14, Jameer Nelson.
Nelson picks up his second.
Is the second. First team foul.
They're going to review it. They're going to look at the replay.
See, this is called very inconsistently. We saw it in the last series where guys were picking up their dribble near half court and they were being fouled and then they let go of it. To me, I didn't really see if that was a 3 or 2. But
That's what they're looking at.
It's actually a 3.
They've made the decision. See, to me, that's not a shot attempt.
That's smart basketball. If you feel the contact and you take the steps, that's in the act of shooting.
By rule, that's in the act of shooting, but that happens at half court all the time, and even in the backcourt.
So it's definitely a shooting foul, but they went to the replay to check to see if it was the 3, and that's what it is. So credit Paul Pierce with a smart play. Nelson has a word for him as he goes past him. Friendly word.
But I agree with Coach. They're not calling it consistently. The same exact play we saw in the Cavs-Celtics series with Rondo, and he didn't get the benefit of the whistle. Same exact play, and Pierce shoots 3 foul shots.
Pierce missed a couple of free throws earlier.
So just a very smart play by Paul Pierce. Taking the contact, hearing the whistle, and then shooting.
Right, because you risk nothing. If they don't call it for you, you just take it side out anyway. Put the pressure on the officials to make the call.
Celtics as a team 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Magic 6 of 10. Magic struggle with Howard. And Pierce hits all 3. 15 points for Pierce, and the lead back up double figures. It's an 11-point advantage for Boston. Carter on the pull-up. Garnett able to grab it. And foul by Howard from behind. He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time as he picks up his 3rd. His momentum carried him into Garnett.
No, part of the problem with Dwight Howard, as great as he is, he's the best center in basketball. There are times where he's a liability on the offensive end. So Kendrick Perkins right now, anytime Howard is away from the paint area, he's not even defending. He's a designated roamer, forcing Howard to catch the ball away from the basket, or he's double teaming the pick and roll.
Garnett gets the feed. That's a double clutch. Rondo. Boy, he's shooting that shot well. That's a difficult shot, Mark, isn't it?
That's a tough shot. That means that's a shot you work on. You work on every day in practice, or you're getting your shots up even before the basketball game. That's something that you put a lot of time in trying to master.
Rondo's second field goal, the lead back up to 13. Barnes kicks it out, deflected by Rondo.
8 seconds to shoot.
No, this is a tough shot, and you can't work on it basically because you can never have a guy trying to contest that shot. So you got to do it with your imagination. Every time in practice, you're envisioning somebody running at you and put the perfect touch on the shot.
The development of Rondo as Lweis catches, shoots, way off. Pierce the rebound, his 6th board. Doc Rivers always says that's a good indication of if Pierce is active, if he's rebounding. Ray Allen left open, quick release, hooks in the 3, and it's a 16-point lead, the largest of the game, as the Celtics have reeled off 10 in a row.
But did you see how quickly Kevin Garnett just moved the ball to the second pick and roll, which allowed Ray Allen to get free? Matt Barnes late. Ray Allen doing a good job. That quick extra pass by Garnett led to Rondo's pass, which leads to the wide open 3 by Ray Allen.
That holds his family together is handcuffs. They've made a crime, or made crime a family business. Here in Orlando, Celtics leading the Magic 60-44 as we approach the midway point of the 3rd. Ray Allen and Tony Allen, boy, have they played well.
Oh, one of my favorite law firms, Allen & Allen, finding a way to get it done and easy on the offensive end. for the Celtics. You're talking about quality looks. Layup after layup after layup. 8 out of the 9 field goals for both of these guys, all layup. The last jump shot by Ray Allen, the first perimeter shot by these two guys. But doing their damage in the paint and at the rim area. Recipe for disaster if you're the Orlando Magic.
That's our Miller Lite Taste Greatness. Ray Allen, Tony Allen, not related. Jeff Van Gundy, Stan Van Gundy are. What's your brother most annoyed with right now?
That Mark Jackson would give Ray Allen and Tony Allen equal footing in the law office. Listen, that's a junior partner if you're Tony Allen, and that's a senior partner if you're Ray Allen.
The junior partner, though, has played well as Howard inside, flips up the shot, can't get it to go. Good Celtic defense.
And you have to give credit right there to great defense by Kendrick Perkins, but you also have to say to yourself, has Dwight Howard grown offensively? Because those are paint catches time and again that are resulting in what should be good shot attempts as Pierce knocks down another isolation.
I tell you what, Dwight Howard's big man coach is over there thinking, if Kendrick Perkins, Rasheed Wallace, and Glenn Davis defended me the way that they're defending you, I would have 40. And Patrick Ewing would be 100% correct. Minimum 40.
Right now, Boston on a 12-0 run. J.J. Redick trying to get a spark off the bench. That won't go. And a loose ball foul against the Celtics. And there's your former teammate and former player, Patrick Ewing.
The guy who had the package on the offensive end. The ability to shoot the jump shot, can post up, jump hook with either hand, fadeaway jump shot, so he would not allow these guys to defend him one-on-one. Doc Rivers and the Celtics would be forced to double team.
Well, and Mark makes a good point right there, is that you can't, as Pierce defends Cardwell, you can't be a primary, a really productive scorer in the post without the hint of a jump shot.
Lweis leans in. Howard, the rebound, back up. Won't go, but a foul. And Howard goes back to the line where he's 4 of 8. Patrick Ewing and Dwight Howard have a terrific relationship. They work so hard together and have been the last several years. And as Perkins has picked up his 5th out, the other guy that's helped Dwight Howard, when he used to be an assistant, now an assistant with the Boston Celtics, is Clifford Ray. Howard gives him a lot of credit for helping him out, learning some of the NBA stuff early on.
You know, the only problem is Dwight Howard's certainly capable of getting 30 points, but the way he would get it would be pick and roll situations, diving to the hoop, so those points would come off of other guys making the play. He's got to get to the point where he can demand the basketball on the block and get 30 points the old-fashioned way by earning.
Wow.
But it's not going to happen in this series. So in this series, he's going to have to sprint the floor and use his athleticism, seal deeper, pound the offensive board, and not get discouraged by the physical, consistent fouling of the Celtics. That's smart basketball. If you don't make your free throws, they're going to continue to pound you and put you at the free throw line.
Going in, he said he would try not to get frustrated, but he admitted last year during the conference semis when they beat the Celtics in 7 that they get under his skin, and he let it get a little frustrated. Rondo, backdoor, beautiful pass. Rondo puts it in, and it's a 19-point lead for the Celtics. A 14-1 run. Carter. Rondo deflects it out. And a little extra shove from Wallace and Howard after the whistle. It's still going to be Orlando ball. Let's see if there's going to be any call on that. Kenny Maurer, I believe, is going to call double technicals on Wallace and Howard. Yep, that's what it is. Meanwhile, it's the magic ball.
See, and you never know what kind of team chemistry you have until you have struggles. You know, I always heard about Cleveland having great chemistry, but what they needed in that series when they had that blank stare on their face was truth tellers that had earned respect and that could tell their teammates the truth. Right now, the Magic for the first time are going through a struggle, and they need someone who can ignite Dwight Howard right now from an effort standpoint offensively. Roll harder, run harder.
You talk to the players on the Magic, and Jameer Nelson is usually that guy. He's kind of the leader. He has a good relationship with him. They came into the league the same year. Nelson's got himself going here in the third. But Howard still with a big struggle. And 3-second violation called on Howard. That's the 16th turnover against the Orlando Magic. And you look both in Charlotte and Atlanta, the first 2 rounds, 2 sweeps, as impressive as you can be. But the level of competition has been raised here, and the numbers indicate that.
And the difference to me, when you talk about the Celtics, they have a bunch of assassins, a bunch of guys that's no nonsense, that's looking to tear your heart apart, win, lose, or draw. I don't know if the Magic have that type of passion towards wanting to win.
Under 4 to play here in the third. Howard backs in, and a travel. Wallace backs off. And there's some contact there, but they have let them have that kind of contact all afternoon long. As a delay of game warning called.
They already had their warning, so that's a technical.
Technical foul, so it's unraveling a bit here in the third quarter for the Magic. Second delay of game warning means automatic technical.
That's nothing.
Right.
See, you lose credibility right there. If I'm a referee after the game and I'm looking at that and you say he pulled me, well, I'm going to go and check that. And then when I see there's absolutely no pull, then I'm going to say, hey, I can't listen to this guy because he won't own up to when he makes mistakes. That was a good non-call by Michael Smith.
He got frustrated in the first round with all the foul trouble against Charlotte. And Otis Smith, the general manager, went to him and said, hey, listen, these are the playoffs. Stop worrying about calls. Just adjust and play hard and go at it. And he did certainly in the Atlanta series, but there's some frustration certainly here in game 1. A 20-point lead for Boston. 3.5 remaining, third quarter. Pierce has had a big third period. Ray Allen a 3. And Lewis the rebound. Magic just 36% from the field, only 2 of 13 from downtown. Carter, tough fall-away shot, gets it to go. Carter 7 of 14 from the field. Allen to Wallace, and Wallace in and out. Boston had a 15-point lead in the first half. Magic cut it to 3. The Celtics have led the entire game. Reddick. Good extra pass. Lewis for 3. And Allen the rebound.
See, and that's what makes Garnett special. He's able to protect in the paint and still get out and close out to the three-point line.
Which he hadn't been doing during the regular season as he continued to recover from the knee surgery, but we're starting to see him playing like he did a couple of years ago. Gets it down low, banks it in. 67-47 with 2.5 to play in the third. The Celtics handing it to the Magic right here.
And I'll tell you a guy that's not getting enough credit is Rasheed Wallace. Certainly took a beating and rightfully so during the course of the regular season, but he has shown up big the last 3 games of the Cleveland series and again this afternoon.
And a foul. Lewis goes to the basket, and he's gotten under Dwight Howard's skin here in this third quarter as Garnett picks up the personal, his first.
You know, people fall in love, okay, with the numbers. Forget about the numbers. Is he doing exactly what he's asked to do against this team? He is getting underneath the skin of Dwight Howard. He's battling. He's committing fouls. He's stretching the defense, and he's not making mistakes as far as his assignments are concerned.
He was doing the same thing, as Jeff said earlier. The last several games of the Cleveland series made his impact. Lewis has been quiet. Now at just 5 points.
And, you know, the Celtics are putting it on the Magic, and they haven't even played that well. It's not like they were executing great, handling the ball. They turned it over, but they are able to get, from their core 4, easier quality looks consistently. It's more of a struggle for the Magic because they really only have their two perimeter players, Nelson and Carter, who can create a shot.
Pierce takes his time, kicks it out. Wallace, extra pass. Glenn Davis way short. Nelson a rebound. Here comes Nelson. Redick. Carter on the drive. Back up top. Straight on three. Won't go. Carter snatches the rebound. Gets the rebound again. Puts it back up and in. Good second effort from Carter. Inside Wallace, and he's fouled by Lweis with 1:26 remaining here in the third. This is what you want to see from Vince Carter, trying to battle back and ignite this team.
This is good work. Sometimes you just have to shut up and try to do it with energy and effort and hope that it becomes contagious. Vince Carter's certainly doing his part.
So Wallace to the line. Wallace 13 important minutes, just 6 points and 2 rebounds, but he has played well. He's done his part as he knocks down the first. Tomorrow night, TNT, the Western Conference Finals, Game 1 from Los Angeles. The Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock. Tip-off shortly after 9 Eastern. Then ESPN Tuesday. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on ESPN. The 2010 NBA Draft Lottery at 8 Eastern. And then Game 2, tip-off shortly after 8:30. Right now, Boston in the driver's seat to take home court.
This goes on throughout the league now when you're getting blown out. Everyone complains to the referees like it's the referee's fault. It's not the referee's fault if you're getting hammered, whether it was Cleveland or Boston or Atlanta or Orlando here today.
Redick hits a three. J.J. Redick. And they cut it to 15.
And again, creating their offense through Vince Carter. Makes a sharp move into the paint area and then delivers the pass to Redick.
Pierce on a drive, gets contact, knocks it in, and a foul. Paul Pierce with a big third quarter, 12 points in the period, and he's got a chance for a three-point play.
I like what he does here. He says, Vince Carter, you're not just going to attack me on one end of the floor. You're going to have to defend me. The blow-by, that's bad defense, ability to turn the corner and get to his spot before Gortat comes. Gets the contact and the basket.
Pierce, another one of the Celtics during the course of the year, banged up, had an assortment of different injuries. He was even saying yesterday that there was at one point during the season he didn't know if this team was going to be healthy enough to make any noise in the playoffs. He felt once they got healthy, they could. And he said every time one guy got healthy, another one got injured.
You know, it's very possible now, coming off this performance today.
As Carter goes to the basket, good aggressive move, and he draws the foul.
And I like this strategy, by the way, of just putting him in the post some right now when it's such a struggle. You can make the case that the Boston Celtics are the favorites. The Lakers, if Bynum can hold up, I would put them as the favorites. But if he is going to be hobbled or reduced effectiveness, the way the Celtics are playing, I don't know how they can't be the favorites.
Well, again, they won 50 games, but Pierce missed 11 games. He had the foot injury. He had the right knee injury where he had it scoped and drained. Garnett missed 13 games and just wasn't healthy in a lot of the games he played during the season, but they are healthy now. And obviously, battle-tested, know what it's like to win in the playoffs. They're a terrific road team.
And like boxing, styles makes fights. And when you talk about the Celtics being very physical, they're a forceful team. They put their will against you. The Lakers are a finesse team. That's the way that they want to play. I would have to say the Celtics look forward to whoever they see from this point forward.
But there was reason why you doubted them. The second half of the season, yeah, they were banged up, but they weren't playing well. They lost home games to New Jersey and Washington. And
they were a terrible home team all year. Even when they were healthy, they were a bad home team. It's when their road record, though, shows you a talent level.
I can't believe you already put them in the finals.
No, I'm saying if they make it there. This is a bad performance by Orlando, but I'm certainly saying from what I'm seeing, that they're the prohibitive favorite.
Well, remember last year in the conference semifinals when these two teams met, Orlando trailed 3 games to 2 and then won games 6 and 7 to advance to the finals. As Rondo commits the foul, not a smart foul there. And with 6.7 remaining, Jameer Nelson will shoot free throws.
But the Magic starting lineup, it's a tough cover because Barnes plays Allen, and he doesn't look to be moving that well. Carter's on Pierce, which puts him in a lot of isolation situations. I think they're in a difficult quandary for Carter. Who is he going to guard? He doesn't guard around screens well, and Pierce is a tough cover as well.
You see Ray Allen come in, Michael Finley his first appearance, as the Celtics will have one final shot of the period. There you see the numbers for Nelson. Again, that first round, he was just spectacular. Averaged 24 a game against Charlotte. Knocks down the free throws. Final seconds, third period. Rondo on the drive. Rondo gets inside. Scoop layup, banks it in. Pretty play from Rondo with a second remaining. Nelson has it, doesn't get it off in time. And that will end the third quarter. The Celtics went up by as many as 20. They scored 33 points in the period, leading to much frustration for Dwight Howard and the Magic. They trailed by 20. And Paul Pierce with a big third quarter. 13 points in the period, 20 for the game. We head to the fourth quarter. Celtics lead by 16. This presentation of the Eastern Conference Finals on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Van Gundy, why has it been such a struggle offensively?
Well, it's been a struggle at both ends. You know, when we've been awful, they're totally outplaying us. I mean, you know, we've got to find some answers, and we haven't found any right now.
What do you want from Dwight in the fourth?
I mean, he's playing hard. He needs to be more efficient on the offensive end.
Stan, thank you. Mike?
Well, the first real bit of adversity for the Orlando Magic in the 2010 playoffs. The first round, 4-game sweep over Charlotte. Second round, an easy 4-game sweep against Atlanta. But now they're facing a rejuvenated Celtics team that is playing so well, healthy, the veterans. And they find themselves down by 16 as we head to the fourth quarter of Game 1. And you look at the numbers, 37% shooting for a team that was the best shooting team in the playoffs coming in. Jason Williams starts the fourth. He's out there with Gortat, Carter, Howard, and Michael Petrus. And a foul, a hold down low. Rasheed Wallace picks up the personal. And you look at the numbers, that Atlanta series, they had their way at both ends. But a different story here this afternoon. In the three-point shooting, they set an NBA record this year during the regular season. Most threes made in a single season by a team.
But you got to give credit to the Celtic defense. They are so good at taking away what you do best as a team.
And a good hard drive by Howard and a smart foul by the Celtics to make him go to the free throw line.
But see, if you're him, you can't even react. You've already got a technical. You just got to take the beating. Until you make free throws, this is the physical contact you're going to endure.
Five of 10. He's just under 50% for the playoffs. Able to knock that one down. During the regular season, he shot 59% from the free throw line. He's always been around 60 for his career.
And see, when you're beating teams badly, it's almost overlooked. You know, the high number of turnovers. He's averaging almost 4 a game in the playoffs. And then the poor free throw shooting. Well, here today he's had 6 turnovers and missed 5 free throws. You're just giving away chances to score, especially when your other guys aren't playing well other than Carter.
Well, despite all the problems they've had, it's just 14 as that shot won't go by Tony Allen. Gortat had it knocked out of bounds, and they say last touch by Gortat, Boston ball. Gortat just kind of lackadaisically went after it. He thought it was going to be Magic ball. And Van Gundy saying help.
Well, that's a good call.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was a goaltending. I thought it was off the board when Vince Carter blocked that.
Rondo, 8 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Rondo looking. Wallace steps back. That's a 3. Too strong. Howard, his 9th board. Jason Williams had a good year as the backup to Jameer Nelson after sitting out a season. Offensive foul on Howard. As Glenn Davis got in his face, he used the left hand to push off, and Davis goes down. 4 fouls on Dwight Howard.
And there's nothing to even argue about. The left hand swung, hit Glenn Davis in the face. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, it's a foul.
Certainly a little extra flop as well, but he did hit him.
And when you're, but to Howard's credit, when you're allowed to lean and drape a guy like that, even if you raise your arm at all, there's going to be contact.
Tony Allen saves it. Shot clock down to 4. Pierce, Wallace sets for 3. Knocks it down as the shot clock expires. Rasheed Wallace having a big impact on this game. Celtics back up 17. 11 points in 16 minutes for Wallace, and his defense on Howard has been superb as well. Foul call on Tony Allen.
Just continued great minutes. This is an outstanding find from Pierce and Rasheed Wallace. On fire, playing great basketball for Doc Rivers and the Celtics.
This is why they signed him. Now in his 15th year, he's 35 years old, won the title with the Pistons back in 04. Had not played well last couple of years, and as Mark said earlier, regular season was not a good one for him. As Jason Williams gets it to go. Wallace posting up. High release off the mark. Here comes Williams.
That's very good individual defense by Gortat.
Gortat has played well off the bench. Alley-oop to Gortat, but they're going to wave the basket. A foul on the pass from Jason Williams.
Now, when you're calling that foul right there, how do you know if that's a pass or a shot?
Well, that's what Jason Williams was looking at Michael Smith saying, hey, I was looking to shoot it. It's the 14th foul.
And I think clearly it was a pass, but you're definitely guessing.
Already 14 fouls. Carter. Petrus backs up. Drives. Lots of contact there. And now the Magic will start shooting free throws. They're the worst shooting free throw team of all the playoff teams, but again, that's because of Howard. Other players, they've got some solid free throw shooters as Tony Allen picks up his 5th.
And this is what you have to do if they're going to constantly foul Dwight Howard, is you have to rack up those fouls early in the quarter, so anytime anybody else gets fouled, you have a chance to go to the line and get some cheap points.
And I think if you're Dwight Howard, the way to rack up those fouls is by getting better position. So rather than settling outside of the paint, put pressure on the Celtic defense by demanding the basketball at your sweet spot inside the paint.
Ray Allen back in for Boston. Pierce, leading scorer in the game with 20. He'll sit. 6 rebounds, 4 assists to Pierce. Michael Petrus just 0 for 4 from the field. He had such a good playoff run last year, helping them to get to the finals at both ends of the floor. Hit big threes, played excellent defense on Pierce, excellent defense on LeBron James. Knocks down the second one.
Yeah, he held LeBron to 38 in that series. That's when you know you're good. No, I agree with you. That's the crazy thing. He did do a good job.
Nice pass inside. Davis can't finish. Here's Jason Williams. 14-point game, still plenty of time. Carter has done a good job attacking. That time falls away. Won't go. Davis the rebound. Rondo to Wallace, and he's fouled. Rondo's timing mark on his passes are what makes it happen.
No, he's playing outstanding basketball. Great job of running the offense. I love the fact that Doc Rivers not calling plays. He's trusting Rondo. This is Rondo's offense. Welcome to Boston. This isn't Tom Brady. This is Rondo running the quarterback position for the Celtics.
Former high school quarterback, former high school pitcher. And now one of the top point guards in the NBA. He's in control. His team up by 14. To enjoy. Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic in the NBA, where caring happens. Right now, Howard and the Magic trail by 14. Still plenty of time remaining. With 8:57, it has been a frustrating afternoon. 1 of 6 from the field. And you see his numbers today, just 9 points, as Rasheed Wallace will go to the line.
Those aren't Superman-type numbers, so I apologize for addressing him as Superman earlier. That's Clark Kent numbers.
That's Lois Lane numbers.
And he had his problems early in the Charlotte series. Vince Carter has had a good, solid game offensively. Nelson woke up a bit in the third. Rashard Lewis also very quiet.
In the first half, their offense was the problem. The second half, it's the defense. The problem is right now they played a very poor game, and the Celtics have a lot to do with it. So they're going to have to do something, and I think it starts with playing a lot harder. I think it starts with Dwight Howard's just physical impact on the game.
Howard doubled, back out Williams, good open three, puts it in. Jason Williams cuts it to 13 with just over 8.5 remaining.
And a good play by Howard, recognizing that Rondo was double teaming him on the catch, delivered the pass on point to Williams.
That's a bad decision by Rondo right there.
Rondo falls down, lost it out of bounds. It's only their third turnover of the second half.
Almost like a design play, like they were coming out of the timeout, was going to double team him right away. But good job by Howard, taking the double team and being unselfish.
Redick. Crowd desperate to get back into it. It's been an uphill battle all afternoon. Lewis fakes a three. Back out Petrus. That's a three. It's good. Petrus nails a three. And it's a 10-point game. 6 straight by Orlando. Wallace. Ray Allen. Shot clock at 5. Pierce to Davis. Davis puts it in and a foul. Beautiful setup for Pierce. And big baby Davis with a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, when they needed it, Pierce drove away from the screen. Dwight Howard comes to help. J.J. Redick, because he's guarding Ray Allen, is late to sink in front of Big Baby. Very nice play by Paul Pierce.
That's part of the problem. When you get to the deeper into the playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, and even the playoffs in general, you can't turn it on when you want it and think, okay, the crowd's going crazy, we can all of a sudden turn it on and play good basketball. You're playing against championship caliber competition, and they have answers.
And Pierce is that. 20 points for Pierce, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Celtic captain. 81-69, Celtics by a dozen. Howard goes at Davis, across the lane, gets it to go. Just his second field goal.
But I like J.J. Redick on the floor. He makes sound decisions with the ball. He's a good passer. He got it to him when he was deep in the paint, like Mark spoke about earlier. That's a good play.
He has become a very trusted player for Stan Van Gundy. Rondo to Davis. Reverse layup. Nice play from Davis.
And another fine delivery from Rondo. And I think if you're Doc Rivers, you don't mind that last move by Dwight Howard. That's good defense by Glenn Davis. You're going to dare Dwight Howard to win the game one-on-one.
Howard spinning. Now gets inside. Misses that one. Pierce his 7th rebound. Celtics during the regular season blew a lot of double-digit leads. As Ray Allen pulls up, jump shot, puts it in. And just like that, it's back to 14.
And that was all set up by Glenn Davis running the floor. So J.J. Redick had to help, on Davis as he beat Howard down the floor, which set up Allen to catch, shot fake, and drive.
Rondo with the setup. Good unselfish play from the Boston Celtics.
Just playing great basketball. Pinpoint pass and then the big time finish by Glenn Davis. And again, Ray Allen, knockdown jump shooter. You give him space, you will pay the price.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
The Gates. The series premieres Sunday, June 20th, part of ABC's new summer season. Back in Orlando, Celtics leading 85-71, still 6:28 remaining, but the Celtic defense has been superb, and that's our Miller Lite Taste Greatness segment.
Well, in these first situations, they use the pick and roll to go high-low, and he gets great position. But instead of taking the bounce, he's got to be able to catch and go straight up immediately. He has to bounce it, allows congestion, and then he's forced away from the basket. Here, Rasheed Wallace does a good job bodying him, getting locked up, drawing the double technical, and here, every time he goes to the rim until he proves that they're going to get fouled, and Rasheed Wallace is going to avoid the contact. He's got to go a little slower in there when Wallace is on him, knowing that he's going to give ground and just back up, back in, and try to dunk it right over the top. And you look at the numbers, 7 turnovers, 5 missed free throws. You can't have your best player playing his worst when you need his best.
Howard has said that Kendrick Perkins plays him better than anybody as Carter gets inside. Nice quick move from Carter. He's got 20.
See, and I would give no credit to anybody if I was Dwight Howard. I would say, listen, if I've got a game, if I'm working on my game, no one can stop me. You give too much credit in this league.
Well, part of the problem is the same dialogue that we had last year in the postseason. At some point, you just can't accept just being great today. I want to challenge the all-time greats.
Lewis, quick outlet to Redick. Redick goes right at Allen. Blocked by Pierce, but the follow by Nelson. Good hustle from a couple of players there. 10-point game, just past the midway point here in the fourth. Celtics have led by as many as 20. Allen hits a three. Ray Allen, another huge game. He's got 23.
Bad decision by Jameer Nelson, falling asleep on a knockdown shooter. We just talked about it, Coach.
That 3-4 pick and roll, Pierce and Garnett, is giving them a lot of trouble.
Redick. Redick gets to the basket. He has been big off the bench. 7 points to Redick, 11-point Celtic lead. Rondo, Allen, Pierce, Big Baby, and Garnett. Shot clock at 5. Garnett. Shot clock at 2. Garnett. Pierce, the offensive rebound. 8 rebounds for Paul Pierce. Garnett trying to post up Lewis. Allen bumped by Redick. Not the penalty yet. That's the third team foul. As Perkins is going to come back in. And the Celtics will take it out. The veteran Ray Allen having another big game. He's talking that maybe Ray Allen could be traded by the trading deadline. He's going to be a free agent after this season. Will the Celtics re-sign him? He wants to come back. Boy, he has had some superb games in the playoffs.
To me, he's like such a true professional.
Oh, blocked by Howard. Came out of nowhere for his fourth rejection. Howard against Perkins down the other end. Howard spinning inside, lefty. Won't go. Pierce, his 9th rebound.
Again, no help, just one-on-one, and good defense by Perkins.
Celtics, one of the best road teams in the NBA all season. Bad pass from Pierce, stolen by Lewis, who hurt himself on the play. 3:45 remaining. Nelson. Top shot, Nelson.
9-point game.
Timeout, Boston. The Magic have trailed by as many as 20, by as many as 17 here in the fourth, but they've cut it to 9 with 3:39 remaining.
Getting stops on the defensive end, and then Jameer Nelson getting into the seams. Little excuse me, brush off, step back, jump shot. Orlando trying to climb back into this ball game.
Conference Finals on ABC. Brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Don't forget the Mike's Lemonade for grown-ups. And Toyota, moving forward.
Back in Orlando, where the Magic trailing 88-79, 3:39 remaining here in the fourth quarter of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 2 is going to be on Tuesday. It'll also be the NBA Draft Lottery at 8 Eastern on ESPN. See what team will get that coveted #1 pick. And at 8:30, Game 2 between the Celtics and the Magic. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern with Kia NBA shoot-around. Now still time remaining with the Celtics leading 88-79. This Boston Celtic team, Jeff, they have really found themselves in the playoffs. They're playing some terrific basketball.
Well, they defend, and then they have a number of offensive weapons to go to. Today it's Ray Allen, but they could go to Garnett, Pierce, and Rondo.
All right, Mark, for the Magic, there's still time. What's to keep them down the stretch?
Well, you got to get stops because you're struggling offensively. You got to get stops and then force the tempo, push the basketball off of missed shots or turnovers, and try to create some offense.
Magic shooting the ball well here in the fourth quarter, first time this afternoon. Redick does a good job harassing Allen.
You know, and J.J. Redick started every game last year in that semifinal series because Courtney Lee, their starting two, was hurt, and he did a very good job against Ray Allen.
Well, you're talking about a guy that's one of the all-time great movers in college basketball as far as getting his own shot, so he's used to that, defending that type of offense.
Nelson gets inside, kicks it out. Lweis for three. Won't go. Rebound tipped and taken by Rondo. Oh, that could have cut it to 6. Allen on the drive. Redick stays with him again. Rondo looking, finding Perkins. Perkins blocked for the foul. The foul is on, I believe, Redick. And Perkins will shoot 2 with 2:51 remaining. Orlando had a good open look there from Lweis, but they have not been able to hit the threes, just 5 of 19. Perkins, his first free throw attempt of the afternoon. Way short.
And they almost gave, Magic almost gave up a free throw rebound on the last free throw attempt. They have to make sure they do a good job on what could be a hard, long rebound.
He's only 58% from the line during the regular season. Short on both. Under 3 to play. Well, the Magic have one more run in them.
And this is a big offensive trip for the Magic.
They've trailed the entire game by as many as 20 in the third quarter, by as many as 17 here in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Nelson pulls back, 2-pointer. Can't get it to fall. Lweis can't grab the rebound, and the Celtics get it back. Rondo to the basket. Offensive foul. Redick steps in and draws the charge.
There haven't been many bright spots, but J.J. Redick's play has been a bright spot for the Magic today.
16 minutes off the bench for Redick.
This is good reaction. Standing in there. It's the second charge he's taken. Good play.
Orlando can't have many missed opportunities at this end. Carter trying to find some room. Pierce stays with him. Carter leans in and draws the foul. Carter's done a good job attacking, not just settling for the outside shot.
I agree with J.J. Redick being a bright spot, but I also think Vince Carter has been a bright spot offensively. You Stan Van Gundy, you have found a way that you can create some offense as far as putting the ball in the hands of Vince Carter, whether it be post up, whether it be pick and rolls or isolations. Good things have happened.
Usually when he plays this aggressively and attacking, he gets to the line a lot. That's only his third free throw attempt.
Well, as he was going to the basket on a few of those occasions, he was spinning, and that used to get him to the line. Not so much anymore. It's those direct line drives that have been the ones where he's gotten to the free throw line.
He's the leading scorer for the Magic with 22.
And because of Kendrick Perkins' poor free throw shooting, Docker is inserts Rashard Wallace. I like the substitution.
Crowd gets on its feet. 6 straight points by the Magic. They pulled within 7 with 2 minutes to play. Rondo to the basket, blocked by Howard. Nelson kicks it out, Redick. Redick across the lane, floats it in. 5-point game. Timeout, Boston.
I'm Stan Van Gundy. I'm saying, could you believe the way we played? We were down just 5 with 1:41 to go, but playing defense down the stretch and then executing on the offensive end. JJ having a good time. 8-0 run.
Inception. Rated PG-13. In theaters and IMAX July 16th.
The Magic have come back from 20 in the second half to cut it to 5 with 1:41 remaining. Both teams with multiple timeouts, neither with a foul to give. They are starting to run out of time. However, a terrific fourth quarter. They've struggled much of the game. They've trailed the entire game. It was a 17-point lead early in the fourth. And remember, this Celtic team during the regular season, they lost 14 double-figure leads. They lost game 1 against Cleveland with a double-figure lead. So they're trying to hang on here as J.J. Redick has been a big part of the spark.
Well, I like it. Gives them an extra guy with a high basketball IQ. Passer, shooter, driver, decision maker. And I like the way he stays attached to Ray Allen.
Eight straight points by the Magic. Every time it looked like this game was going to be over, they've made a run. Redick fighting to stay with Ray Allen. Shot clock now down to 9. Rondo inside to Garnett. Garnett turns, shoots, won't go. Redick the rebound. Lweis fakes to 3, drives, kicks it back out. Redick for 3. Short. Garnett the rebound. Quick outlet to Allen. Allen goes right at Nelson, dribbles it off his foot. Redick comes up with a loose ball, and it'll be a jump ball. Good hustle from both teams. They'll jump it up at the Celtics free throw line circle with a minute remaining.
And how many guys do we witness fall back and not hustle? Great job of getting back and trying to get the loose ball.
Should have Ray Allen pulled out on that instead of trying to go for the basket, or do you like that aggressiveness?
Actually, I thought he against Jameer Nelson one-on-one, you're fine. I think it was a mishandle, but I don't doubt what he was trying to do. Right here, though, the Magic are going to have to try to anticipate where Rondo is going to tip it, because certainly he'll win the tip.
Lweis gets it. Final minute of game 1. Nelson on the drive. Lost the ball, knocked out of bounds. And it's still Magic ball with 16 on the shot clock.
And I think they're talking about who it went off of, and they can go to the monitor on this.
And that's what they'll do, the new rule this year.
And it looked like it went off Garnett to me.
Yep. Rondo got his hand on it. Yeah. Did it touch? It just misses Nelson's feet.
But this is what you got to do when you're playing against Rondo. When you beat him, he's so good at coming from behind. You really have to protect the ball.
And I think when you look at Jameer Nelson driving the lane, you see 4 guys in green. Well, he has to understand that and recognize that 2 shooters are on the weak side in Reddick, Carter, and also Rashard Lewis. So he's going to have to find guys spotted up.
And his best attribute, though, is scoring. It's not his vision. He's always been a better pick-and-roll scorer than he is a pick-and-roll passer.
And this is what they're doing now, an expanded use of instant replay for this season. You can determine during the last 2 minutes of regulation and overtime which player last touched the ball prior to going out of bounds. It's a great rule down the stretch of games.
No doubt, because it gives you the opportunity to get it right. I mean, that's all you're looking for. Both teams just want the call right, and these are hard calls. They're so bang, bang.
Now, they're looking to see if it did touch Nelson's foot. I don't.
But unless there's conclusive evidence that Nelson touched it, the call on the floor has to stand, which is magic ball. So that's why it's so critical that they make the call first.
And it really doesn't look like it hits the foot of Jameer Nelson.
No, I don't think so. It didn't look like it changed any direction there.
But right now, the Magic, as the Magic get the ball, they have the timeout right now. They've got to make sure they get a 2-for-1 opportunity here. There's 49 seconds. They want to make sure they get a shot before 36, 35, 34, somewhere in that range.
The Magic were down with a timeout. Now Stan Van Gundy calls a 20-second timeout. 49.6 seconds remaining. Magic down 5. It's their ball when we return. Tuesday's game 2 on ESPN. Will the Magic be down 0-1? Or will they have this unbelievable comeback and steal game 1? Right now they're down by 5, 49.6 seconds remaining. They've trailed the entire game. The largest deficit was 20. And they've chipped away here in the fourth quarter, their best quarter by far of this first game. Lewis, that's a 3. Short, just hits the rim. Carter tips it back out. Reddick can get it. It's not a backcourt violation. Magic with another opportunity. Good help defense from Rasheed Wallace. Nelson fakes, drives, flips it up, shot. Won't go. Howard the rebound. Back up and in. 3-point game. Just over a 2-second difference. Lewis on Pierce. Good defense from the Magic. Should the Magic foul?
Oh, they have to foul.
Boston calls timeout. It's actually 1.3 difference. That's really not enough time, so they have to foul.
I think they were trying to get him to throw it to Rondo and then foul Rondo, and that's a smart play by Pierce. And I actually thought Dwight Howard got fouled on his follow-up as well.
Celtics ball when we come back. Celtics clinging to a 3-point lead with 14.3 remaining. They will inbound as Dwight Howard on this last play.
And to me, this is clearly a foul.
Here's
clearly a foul. That should be an N1. Howard should be on the line shooting the foul shot.
Celtics down to 1 timeout remaining. Pierce has it, and Carter fouls him. Pierce wisely tries to throw it up a shot.
It's another 3-point shot. No, I'm serious. You can do it. The way it is right now, it almost is going to be like that.
So Pierce will go to the free throw line where he's 6 of 8. Pierce has had a strong all-around game. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He had an excellent season from the line this year. A career-high 85%. He nails that one, and it's a 4-point game. That's the Celtics' first points in 5.5 minutes. Magic still have 2 timeouts remaining. Pierce hits a pair, 2 clutch free throws. And Stan Van Gundy will use one of his 2 timeouts. Paul Pierce, 22 points, I said 8, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He's come up big with 2 free throws here. All right, so it's a 2-possession game, 90-85 with 12.9 remaining. What's the strategy for Orlando?
Well, I think you have to get a quick shot, obviously, and I think it has to be a 3 because you're going to only hope that they make 1 out of 2 and then get another 3. It's going to take a miracle finish, but you got to give yourself a chance.
Well, I totally agree. You want to try to get a quick shot, preferably a 3, and then you got to do a better job of denying the basketball to the free throw shooters and force them to get it to somebody that's a bad free throw shooter. Play the numbers.
Orlando could advance the ball to the front court, and they still have 1 more timeout. So even on their next possession and timeout, they could advance the ball, which certainly makes a huge difference. A wild game 1. Celtics seemingly in control, and what was a poor performance by the Magic until this 4th quarter.
I like what the Celtics are talking about too. If Dwight Howard catches the basketball, they want to foul him.
Redick will inbound. Tony Allen's back in for Boston for defensive purposes. Redick to Carter. Carter has unlimited range, drives to the basket though, and Garnett with the foul. And Vince Carter will shoot 2 with 9.4 remaining, so just about 3.5 seconds go off.
And I think that's to benefit the Magic. You got to make the first one and miss the second one. You give yourself no chance to expect a guy to miss 2 free throws at the other end.
What if you found somebody like Rondo, who is not a good free throw shooter?
Well, I would suspect they won't throw it to him. He'll probably be the inbounder like he was on the last side out of bounds.
And to me, in this situation, I disagree. I think if you're Carter, make the foul shot and try to extend it, force them to turn it over and then foul immediately.
If this Magic team can force a turnover.
Carter misses the second. Nelson puts it in! Off the miss, Nelson puts it in! Ray Allen now gets fouled by Carter with 6.1 remaining. Oh, it worked to perfection for the Orlando Magic. Again, Nelson could leave on the release. As soon as the free throw shooter releases, he's above the 3-point mark and come in. What a great play from Jameer Nelson.
Well, great job, great execution, and a poor job by Ray Allen. Your job is to box out Jameer Nelson at the 3-point line. That's great execution. That's something that you work on when you get into a position like that.
2 huge free throws from one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the NBA. That makes it a 3-point game. This one critical now.
And that's why you teach people. You don't throw that ball into anybody right there. If you can't inbound it to Ray Allen, take the timeout. You're not going to just throw it into anybody.
Magic still have a timeout left. Well, this the critical shot of the game. Oh, Ray Allen, 2 clutch free throws, giving him 25 for the game. And it's back to 4 with 6.1 remaining. And Orlando takes their final timeout.
And to me right now, if you're Orlando, you need to go quick 2 on the first catch. And then try to get 1 out of 2 and then get a run-up 3-point shot.
Because now that they're out of timeouts, can no longer advance the ball there. Jameer Nelson making an unbelievable play to cut it to 2. That's the closest they've been, trailing by double figures much of the game. And you got to give Orlando credit, grinding it out. Really a poor performance for 3 quarters, but hanging tough and battling to try and make this a game. And everybody can come in on the release of the free throw shooter. The only guy that has to stay till it hits is the guy who shoots it from the line.
And there were so many violations there. Everybody crossed early. Garnett didn't even take the ball out of bounds. It was like every rule was out, and that's how it should be.
There's even like Gortat came in early as
well.
well.
And then Garnett didn't even take the ball out. He said, hey, Ray's open. I'm just going to throw it to him.
Jameer Nelson made some big plays in the second half, helping the Magic with this comeback. But it's starting to look like it might fall short. And there's still 6.1 remaining. Orlando sends out Redick, Nelson, Carter, Howard, and Lweis.
And what you don't want if you're the Celtics is to allow the Magic to get something with a direct pass to the hoop.
And if you're Orlando, you almost have to shoot off the first pass.
Carter will inbound. Michael Smith telling him to tuck in his shirt.
Oh, come on, Michael. That's what you're thinking about right now with 6 seconds?
Tony Allen playing off the inbounds. Lweis catches. Lweis shoots. That's a three. Won't go. Garnett the rebound, and that will do it. The Celtics take game one on the road as they hold off the Orlando Magic and get home court advantage in this series, stealing it here in game one. A frustrating afternoon for Dwight Howard and a number of his teammates helping out in the fourth quarter comeback as they lose for the first time in these 2010 playoffs. Meanwhile, the Celtics 4 straight wins now, including 3 straight road wins. They won game 2 in Cleveland, game 5 in Cleveland, and now game 1 here in Orlando. One of those responsible, 25 from Ray Allen. He's with Doris.
Ray, all day long your defense was terrific, including a stretch in the second half where you guys were able to absorb a 5.5-minute stretch where you don't score. What about your defensive game plan worked so well?
It was great. The one thing I can think about is our bigs definitely didn't save fouls. There was a stretch down at the end where small guys should have took a foul on Dwight. He got a bucket, but we didn't save him. We played hard in the paint. We made them shoot those shots in the perimeter, but we also got a hand up in their face.
When Kendrick and all of the guys inside do the job they did on Dwight, how much does that change what the Magic are able to do?
Well, he's wrestling so much. They're going to him, and when they go to him, Perkins, Rashard taking great fouls. Perkins' arm is so long. He's got his hand in his face all day long, so his shot is always under duress, and it takes a lot of pressure off us in the perimeter.
The doubts were many as you came down the stretch of the season. You were not playing well. Why has it been so different for this team since the playoffs started?
It's hard to really answer, but I think for the most part, which I don't agree with it, but as a veteran team, everybody's ready for the playoffs, and we got here and we hit the ground running.
You look ready, Ray. Thank you. Mike.
Well, they certainly do, Doris. Another strong performance in 4 straight wins now, and a big part of it was the defensive job they did on the Magic, especially the job they did, Mark, on Dwight Howard.
Well, great defensive teams, what we talked about in the past. They say to great players, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be on our terms. So they do a great job of paying attention to detail. Fight them out of the post position. Keep him away from the rim where he does most of his damage. Force him to be a big-time post scorer. Outstanding job of battling, and then when he got position, they fouled. They did not allow Dwight Howard to have quality looks at the rim. Paying attention to detail, staying at home on the three-point shooters, once again, away from the rim. That's doing your work prior to the catch, forcing him into a tough post move. Great job by the Celtics.
A wire-to-wire victory. And again, they saw a 20-point lead cut to 2, but able to hold off and win here on the road. Another terrific road win for this veteran team that is just starting to bring about talk in Boston about how they could once again compete for title, as Doris mentioned. Then the end of regular season, not a lot of people thought that. All right, how about Orlando now, Jeff? They sweep the first 2 rounds. Here's their first bit of adversity that they face. How do they bounce back?
Well, it's almost disappointing to me that they made a comeback, because now the sense in the locker room is, yeah, we were close. No, you weren't close. You got hammered the entire game. You made one fool's gold run. It got back to close, but they were nowhere. They were never one possession away where they had the ball to tie it.
Obviously, Howard has to come up bigger on Tuesday night in Game 2.
Well, he's got to fight for better position on the block, putting pressure on the Celtics. If you're going to play me single coverage, I have to do my work prior to the catch it in position where I can make a high percentage move.
And for the Boston Celtics, you heard from Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, one of his better all-around games as well, as the Celtics have now won 4 straight playoff games after falling behind 2-1 against the Cavs in the conference semifinals. They are on the rampage and lead this best-of-7 series 1-0. Well, it's an impressive road win, 92-88 the final here in Orlando. For Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Doris Burke, and our entire ABC crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Orlando. Don't forget tomorrow night on ABC, an all-new Dancing with the Stars live at 8/7 Central. Now, except on the West Coast, stay tuned for ABC World News or your local news over most of these AB stations. Final score, 92-88. Celtics beat the Magic. So long from Orlando, Florida. We'll see you Tuesday night for Game 2.